Beneath the deep blue ocean lay a magical world, a dreamlike world, dazzling with light and color. The waves danced gently there, pearls sparkled, and colorful fish swam happily. In this blue ocean was the kingdom of mermaids. Delicate, beautiful, and with sparkling faces, they lived in palaces of pearls and homes of shiny shells. A blanket of light would wrap around them, and when they laughed, the entire ocean seemed to burst into song. They all sang, played, and swayed with the waves. Queen Ilara, a kind and beautiful queen of this world, was the largest and most beautiful of all. Light pink, blue, and pearly light shone around her. Ilara loved all the mermaids. Her husband, King Heir, was a brave man who protected the ocean. But one day, a terrible war broke out in the sea. The enemy kingdom attacked. During this time, King Heir was killed in battle. Ilara was pregnant at the time. Her heart was broken. Tears flowed from her eyes. The ocean itself seemed to change color. A few months later, a soft light spread across the ocean. Ilara gave birth to a tiny daughter. As soon as the baby cried for the first time, beautiful pink pearls began to flow from her eyes. These pearls were so bright and special that the entire ocean shone with their light. Ilara was amazed. She immediately realized that her daughter was not ordinary, but full of magic. Soon she learned that these pearls held such a power that could give great wealth and power to anyone who owned them. But Ilara did not want anyone to know this secret. She did not want anyone to make her daughter cry, because with every tear a precious pearl was born, and she knew that the greedy hearts of the world would do anything for such pearls. She called her most loyal maid, Isabella, and said, "Isabella, protect my daughter. No one should know the secret of her pearls." Isabella promised, but greed grew in her heart. Ilara's health got worse. Before dying, she said, "Name her Rose." Then she fell silent. The waves of the ocean seemed to stop. Queen Ilara fell asleep forever. A few days after Ilara's death, a nearby king attacked. With him was his queen, Maria, and son, Prince Raven. They wanted to take over the ocean. The mermaids were terrified. Isabella quickly led the little Rose through a magical tunnel. She passed through a long, magical tunnel glowing with colorful lights. Finally, she reached a hidden valley. The water there was soft pink. The stairs were made of pearls, and at the top was a huge apple. Inside the apple lay a large pearl. Isabella opened this pearl, and inside shone a shining pink palace. There, Isabella hid Rose. Time passed. Rose turned 18. Isabella would always scold Rose for those same sparkling pink pearls from her eyes. As soon as they fell, Isabella would secretly collect them and sell them to Queen Maria, making her richer by the day. Rose would often ask with a tearful voice, "Why are you always angry, Isabella?" But Isabella would simply say, "Keep your mouth shut. Don't talk too much." Rose would fall silent, a deep sadness in her heart. One day, Prince Raven saw those same pink pearls in his mother's hand. He asked, "Where did these beautiful pearls come from?" Queen Maria replied, "Isabella gets them from somewhere under the sea." Raven became curious and decided to follow Isabella. One night, when the sea was completely still and only the moonlight danced across the water, Raven silently followed Isabella. They passed a magical path lit up by soft pink lights. At the end of the path there was a large apple with a shining pearl inside. Isabella went inside, and when she came out, she carried a small bag of pearls. The next day, Raven saw an opportunity and entered the door of the large apple himself. The scene inside was like a dream: soft pink light, floating pearls, and the smell of flowers blooming in the water. In the middle of the palace sat a beautiful mermaid. Her long hair waving in the water, she wept softly, singing a song. Her tears fell, forming beautiful pink pearls, the same pearls Raven had seen with his mother. Raven stepped forward and watched in amazement. He noticed Rose's eyes had turned slightly pink from crying, and she looked weak. He moved closer and said softly, "Don't cry. These tears are hurting you." Rose stood up, surprised. "Who are you?" "I am Prince Raven. I won't harm you." For the first time, Rose saw kindness on someone's face. She smiled slightly. Raven decided to free Rose from her prison. They both passed through a magical tunnel. Floating underwater along the way were leaves of light, glowing jellyfish, and flower-like corals. Rose was seeing another part of the ocean for the first time. Her heart was filled with joy, but also fear. Meanwhile, Isabella heard the news. She was very angry. She followed them with her magical powers. In the storm of light, she began to fight Raven. Rose was scared, crying and screaming. Just then, a bright ball rose in the ocean, and from it came the spirit of Queen Ilara. Ilara's spirit appeared in the bright light and spoke sternly to Isabella. "I trusted you with the protection of my child, but you harmed her." She raised her hand angrily and swirled a string of pink beads through the air. It automatically wrapped around Isabella's neck. Suddenly, her breathing stopped. She clutched her throat and twisted in pain. Her eyes were filled with fear and regret. But it was too late. In a few moments, she sank lifeless into the depths of the ocean. "Now it's all over. My child, my king, always take care of her." Saying this, she slowly dissolved into light and disappeared. Raven took Rose's hand and led her to his palace. They both passed through the glittering sea paths and arrived before the king and Queen Maria. Raven told the entire story: Ilara's sacrifice, Isabella's greed, and Rose's magical tears that spread light. Hearing all this, the king and Queen Maria's hearts were filled with joy. "My daughter, from today you are not just a mermaid, but the princess of this kingdom." Waves of joy swept across the kingdom. Starfish showered dazzling flowers, seahorses played songs with their drums, and the colors of the ocean became even brighter. "I thought I might never see you again, but I am here now." If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe.